morning. I'm Harriet, and this is Harriet's Florida Kitchen. Florida outside. Now today, usually there's not a lot of stress in cooking. Well, there's some stress, but there's not usually a lot of real drama. Today, there is. I'm going to be cooking about 3 different things. You're going to see the same outfit, the same orange dress over and over. I'm going to change aprons so that Thompson can figure out where I am in each of those things. But all of these things I'm going to be cooking all day long. First thing I'm going to do is really the most stressful for me because I haven't ever made it. This is my great childhood friend Christina's, Abuela's flan. Now, Cristina and I have been friends since the 1st grade, and if I can find a picture, I'll put it up so that you can see how cute we were in the 1st grade. But her great-grandparents moved this. She says that this is not the same flan that anybody has in Spain, and it's not even the same flan that most people make in restaurants. She said she always laughs and says this is poor people's flan as opposed to rich people's flan. Her great-grandparents moved to Spain, emigrated from Spain to Cuba when they were young, and they died young. And so Christina's grandmother, a little girl, ended up in a Cuban orphanage in Havana. So this is the flan that they made in the orphanage in Havana. And then she moved to, when she was 16, she was sponsored and came to the United States. And she grew up making this flan, and then she passed it on to her family. And Cristina is famous in her group of friends for making this phenomenal flan, which is really one of the best I've ever had. It's just terrific. Now, it's not in a book. And also, Cristina gave me the recipe. And actually, several people said, why don't you make Cristina's Abuela's flan? So I got it from her. And it says things like, you know, it just mentions 14 ounces of water. So I've been texting back and forth to find out, where does that go? Does that go in the bain-marie when you put the custards in? Does that go in the making of the custard? Does that go in the making of the custard? Does that go in the making of the caramelizing? And then she just casually says, caramelize sugar and coat bottom and sides of 1 larger 2 bottom-size oven-proof bowls or 12 ramekins. What do you mean caramelize the sugar? Not everybody knows how to do that. So again, back and forth. So I've got lots and lots of additions as to how to do that. So we'll start with the caramelizing because that is the trickiest part. And then I'll put that in the, then I'll do the custard and I'll put all of that in the fridge and then I'll change over. Oh, I do see a stranger in the show kitchen. So I'll get things ready and then I'll turn it back on. Now we're ready to go. The stranger in the show kitchen has moved on. So first thing is, it says, put 1 cup sugar. So the whole thing is only 1 cup sugar, 6 whole eggs, 12-ounce can of evaporated milk, 4 ounce can of sweetened condensed milk. What could be bad about anything that has that in it? 14 ounces of water. Again, that was the mystery water. Pinch of salt and a tablespoon of vanilla extract. So here is, I'm going to start with this. I'm going to aim the camera down so that you can see what I'm doing. And put it like this. So we're going to turn on the oven. I'm going to turn it on high for a minute. So in goes the sugar, 1 cup of sugar. And Cristina says that if you are an expert, I'm not an expert, that you can add, you can do the sugar and you can turn it into caramel just with the heat, and you have to move fast because it burns in about 8.5 seconds. So we're going to, but she says for beginners, that'd be me, we're going to put this in here. Okay, so I'm going to find something to stir this with. All right, and let this get hot. So what I'm going to also tell you while we're doing the boring bit about the stirring is that the school that Cristina and I went to was Gary Elementary School in Tampa, Florida. And if John Gary hadn't invented the ice machine because he was trying to cure yellow fever, if he hadn't invented the ice machine, that wouldn't have led to refrigeration. It wouldn't have led to air conditioning, and we would be making Harriet's Michigan kitchen or Harriet's Minnesota kitchen. I assure you we would not be in Florida because it would be unbearable. Just thought I'd mention that little extra bit. John Gary is my personal hero. All right, so it doesn't take any time at all. I wonder if I could make this so you can really see it better. Let's see. Yes, okay. Looking down. Oh, that's good. Okay. Because I think you're going to really need to see this. It's supposed to turn a kind of a Cristina says she likes it to be the color of a brown bag. I think it's probably, and also another direction I read as I Googled all the many ways that you could do this, kind of a golden honey color. Now, Cristina says that you cook this until it gets to be that brown color. And then you take it off and you keep stirring because it'll get darker and darker. Now, one recipe that I looked at said you get it a nice dark brown. Cristina says she doesn't like that. She thinks it gets too dark, gets too bitter. And again, as you know, this can burn quite quickly. So far, this has been on for about a minute. And I think we should time it because, so you can see how long it actually takes. So it's going to bubble up in just a sec. It's very melty now. Okay. And not supposed to really do anything about it. Just let it do that. In a second, it's going to turn. Well, I don't know if it's a second. Let's find out. So that is, so far it's been about a minute and a half. Okay. Still watching. Don't believe a watch pot never boils because obviously it's going berserko. Okay, we're right at about 6.5 minutes and it is just beginning to turn the golden brown. I turned it off because it was just sitting there doing nothing. Then suddenly here it is doing its thing. So you can see on the edge of it that it is turning, definitely turning a golden brown. Okay, and I'm going to do this so, okay, the whole thing is golden brown, not just part. Okay, it looks like it's just about to do that thing Cristina warned me about, which is the burning part. I'm beginning to smell it, a little bit burning. On a little bit longer, a second or two longer. Definitely sticky. Definitely looking like a brown bag. And I'm thinking now that should do it. That looks just right. Alright, now still turning. She's right. See how it still keeps on turning brown? Getting darker and darker and darker. Okay. Looking gorgeous, as a matter of fact. Alright. Now, it really looks just about perfect. Okay, now I'm going to do these in the ramekins, which are standing by. And those are going to go, let's see if you can see this well enough. Yep, I think you can. Okay, a little bit in there, a little bit in, oh, it's going to be tricky to measure out. A little bit in there, a little bit in there, a little bit in here, a little bit in here, a little bit more in this one, a little bit more in this one, a little bit more in this one. There you go. Okay, get a little bit more too, buddy. Okay, no, this one doesn't have quite enough. Okay, now that is amazing. And so now Cristina says you just sort of swizzle them up the sides a little bit like this. Especially, she says actually the teeny tiny ones that she does, because she orders her half cup size in bulk, and then she has enough that she'll share with me the next time I do this if I can think about it in time. But that way she has a half a cup per, she has half a cup per, I can't even think, I'm so worried about making sure this happens before it caramelizes. Okay, not caramel, it's already caramelized. Okay, so it's getting a little hard. See, if I waited, I went too long. And we're going to hope that that doesn't get super weird. But okay, it's done like this. So it's hardened up. Now, we're going to see, once they're served, look, see, they're much, oh, you can't see that. Okay, so they are much too, I didn't move fast enough. Okay, but I think it'll be okay because once the hot custard goes in, they'll get kind of melty. Okay, now, oh, that was weird. I got so traumatized by the pouring that I messed up my camera. Okay, so now I'm going to stop. Actually, I'm going to stop in a second anyway, because I'm going to start doing, no, I'm not going to stop. I'm going to go ahead and put this aside So these go over over to this side, and now I think this will be a lot. Life will be a lot easier now that we're doing just plain old custard. Okay, so the recipe calls for, I've got a pretty good sized pan. Again, anytime you're making something like this, you want to make sure you have enough space. So I'm going to put in 6 whole eggs, and you know my trick. I do that so that I make sure I do 1 egg at a time in a little bowl. Make sure they're fine. Yes, they are. Throw these in the garbage. That's 1. And 2. And that goes 3. Yep. Okay, that's fine too. No rotten eggs. Always a delight. There goes another. Okay. In the pan. Final one. Okay. Now, we get out something to stir those with, preferably. Oh, here's my favorite kind of food. It's a little bit small, but I like it a lot. Okay. So, put this up. You can see. Yes, you can. Okay. And put in is going to be the 12 ounce can of evaporated milk. Should have done that a little bit in advance, but it will be fine. Just a sec, okay? Okay. And pour this in. That's done. This is the, how much is this weight? 14 ounce can of sweetened condensed milk. Ooh, so good. It's always so good. All right, put this in. Use a spatula because it's super sticky. You want to make sure that you are getting all of it out. Doing this backwards, sort of. Okay. Do this left-handed. Ooh, kind of a switcheroo. All right. Put that in there. Done. Okay. And here's where I got confused. I wasn't sure about this, but no, Cristina says this 14 ounces of water does go into the flan. And then a pinch of salt. So, pinch literally. Okay. And pinch of salt and a tablespoon of good quality. Well, I've got regular quality, but it's always good for me. Tablespoon of vanilla. Okay. Oh, main flavor. Yum, yum, yum. All right. This will go onto the stove. Yep. Now, we are going to, it says mix all other together in a large vessel blender or with mixer, which we have not done. And I think what I'll do is turn this off and do this with a hand mixer. Hold on. Okay, I started to put all of this on a burner because that's usually how I do custard. But in this case, not the case. So I'm going to put this into this blender, which is a pretty large one. And you'll notice that all of that swell condensed milk, not condensed milk, yeah, sweetened condensed milk is in the bottom. So I'm going to put that all, make sure none of it misses this blender. It's all got to be in there. Okay. And now through that and start it up. Okay. So on high. recommend you do not try to get a fancy blender at all. This is such a stupid one. I put it on the milkshake thing and now I can't get it off. Okay, let's try to do it again and put it on. Woo, all comes out the top. Okay, that should be fabulous. Now, for the scary part, really it's not going to be that scary. I'm just going to pour it in. So these are going to go now into, this is all going to go into the ramekins that we prepared. Okay, I think you can see it pretty well. I'll start to pour these in. Boy, do those look good. Okay, pour that. Now remember, Christina said that this makes 12 half cups. So each of these ramekins is a little bit more than a cup. And it looks to me like it's going to make a ton more than she said. Oh dear, you hate to think you have a ton more. Oh, it's sort of cracking. That's so exciting. Okay, that goes in there. That goes in there. Wow, okay. So I've got about this much left. I wonder, maybe pour some more of that. Make sure that these are as flat as they can be. Yep. That they all fit. Yep. 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 Well, you know, we frothed it up a lot, so that may be part of why we made so much, which is just great. All right. Okay. Okay. Oh, it's like building a car and you have too many parts. Okay. So we are going to put these into the oven, and I'm going to wait. No. First, we have to put water around the sides. Just a second. All right. So we're going to put water all the way up to about the sides, about halfway up. The oven preheated to 300 degrees. So can you see what I'm doing? Yes, you can. Okay, so those go. It should be, and they should be halfway, about halfway up the side, I think. And also you want to make sure that you use a pan, you know, an outside pan for the bain-marie that is big enough to hold them and also have enough sloshy water, because when it gets out, it's going to be hot. So you're going to have to be super careful taking it out. Okay, this is going to go. This is going to go into the oven, and it's ready at 300 degrees. 2 sec. Okay, we're ready to put them into the oven, and oven shelf is okay. Be super careful, because they are, everything about this is really full. So this goes in like this. Good. Okay, Christina, I hope this works. And we set it for 1 hour. And then we'll start to watch it. Because remember, Christina does it in half cup containers, and sometimes she does it in great big bowls, and I've done it in 1 cup, a little bit over 1 cup containers. So we'll start looking at it at an hour, and what we're going to do is we're going to wiggle it around, and when it wiggles properly, it's done. I know that's not very scientific, but it works. So I'll see you in an hour. Okay, now having checked these and actually called Christina to see what she thought, I think these are just about ready. I even sent her a couple of movies to say, is this done yet? So this looks to me like it's okay. I'm gonna see if I can get this even closer so you can see. Okay, so wiggle it a little. Yeah, this little wiggle in a little bit in the middle. This looks okay. So carefully I'm going to carry it out because it still has water, hot water on the sides. Okay. And now I'm going to let that sit in its water for a little time and then put it in the fridge. Okay. All right, to see a close-up of what these are supposed to look like. This, see how it's just wiggling in the middle. Okay, that should be just about right. Now we'll let it cool. Well, these still looked a little wobbly to me. So I called Cristina and consulted with her, and she said her mother sometimes just left it in the oven for a few hours while she went out. So I turned off the oven, and I did that, and I left it in for another 2 hours. And you can see that one over on the top might be a little bit weirdo, but the others look great. Now those are going to go in the refrigerator now. Yeah, okay. Okay, now. All right, they're out of the refrigerator, the flans. Let's see how they did. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to cut around the edges. Here we go. And you remember some of these looked a little bizarre. Some of them were had already hardened up. So we'll see if that works. Let's find out. This is okay. Now we have some chatty people in the background. Let's see if this is going to work. Here. Now come on out. Wait a minute, let's see. Okay. All right, here we go. And we'll try to turn this one like this. Okay. See if it works. And okay. Okay. All right. Just a sec. Okay. It's working. They're working. Okay. Let's see how this one does. Oh, so cool. Okay. So as you see, it didn't really matter that some didn't quite make it and some did. Oh my gosh, they're gorgeous. They're just gorgeous. That is so fun. Okay, now let's have a bite. Let's see how they taste. Okay, just take a little bite of one. Okay. Oh, Cristina. Oh my gosh. Your Abuela was in the right place at the right time. She probably didn't love the orphanage, but I'll tell you what, the orphanage turned out some great flans. I'm so glad to know you. I'm so glad to have been your friend since 2nd grade and turns out since 1st grade. Thank you. Oh gosh. What? Oh, just maybe a little bit more. So much lighter than flan usually is. But with that wonderful, wonderful rich caramel, which I did successfully. A miracle. Thank you for watching Harriet's Florida Kitchen once again. Bye.